folks, we are back. Another episode here in the McCapstick podcast. That
Me.
it's 2 days late. Someone had to go get hired by a new school district and has thrown us for a loop. That Mr. Capstick, do you want to tell us about that a little bit or no?
So I woke up Monday morning working for a school district, and I went to said training in that school district. Got done at 3 o'clock. I looked at my phone, and I got an email from a principal that I previously interviewed for back in the spring, who says, "Oh, I have this temporary 1-year gig here. We hire 90% of our long-term subs the next year." So I say I would love the position, and they said, "Well, however, we can't give that to you quite yet. We have to go through the hoops and the hurdles to get there." And he said, "I'll text you tomorrow morning with the information." So I go into my old school for my training that I was planning to do. I was there at 8 o'clock, and then by 9:45, I get an email from said principal, and she says it's a go. So I up and leave my previous school, grabbing everything except for my Apple Watch charger. So I have to awkwardly get back into the school and get that charger tomorrow. And I have been in my new school yesterday. I was there, and today, and I'm back in Fredonia now. And I will go back to go living with my mom come Monday, which is going to be extremely fun.
Yeah. So
that's life. However, I have my own office. I'll try to deck it out as much as possible. However, my current setup is not going to be the setup I'm taking, so I don't know how it's going to work. It just depends on how much money I really want to spend to get a setup similar back home, because this setup is staying for Grace for her schoolwork. I'm 90% sure that my school computer cannot be used, so we'll see how it goes. I might just buy a monitor and call it good, and just get an HDMI to go to, and it won't be like this. This is amazing, this setup. I have a docking station and everything, but yeah.
There's a joke I want to make there. But we're just gonna move past it and move on. So
yeah, that's my life. That's it.
As we know, NASCAR came to our state. They had a race at Watkins Glen, and in the end, Kyle Larson muscles his way past Chase Elliott for his second win of the year. A little controversy coming out of, not really controversy, but a little anger coming from the two teammates there. But all in all, I thought it was a good race.
Good. Can you say that the Glenwood track is one of the most unique tracks in NASCAR? Or
yeah.
It's also a street race, right? And it's not.
It's a road course. It's not really a street race. They don't race on the streets of Watkins Glen like they used to. But yeah, the fact that it's called the super speedway of road courses, I think that makes it unique and sound right. We're biased because we live here, but like I think out of all the road courses that NASCAR goes to, this is probably the fan favorite. And they go
a lot of collisions, and it's not a typical race either. It's not your typical like what you see in Indy or what you have in Daytona. Like races like that, it's not the same. And I don't know that much about NASCAR, but when it comes to road courses, this is not like any other race or track that there is in NASCAR.
No, this is a high speed road course that not a lot of drivers are used to. Like, of course, like you go back to Indy, they were bumping and banging going into turn one, and it was like hard brakes a lot of little difficult little turns that they had to go through. Going to Sonoma, it's very lower speeds compared to Watkins Glen. Go to Dakota, it's just like Sonoma. The Roval, I think it's cool how they're racing the oval, but at the same time, it's not Watkins Glen. Like I said, I feel like Watkins Glen is the favorite of all the 6 road courses that they race on.
Yeah, and I don't know much about racing, but when I would go to my grandparents' house on Sundays to watch the races, this would be one of my favorite tracks to watch, due to just the high volume, the unpredictability of it, and the collisions.
Yeah, and it's always, and from the fans' perspective, it's always sold out. They're sold out every year that Watkins Glen comes here. The infield's filled with campers. This on the outside of the track, you can see campers for miles and miles. Like, they have camping down the street. So, like, I'm sure the hotels and whatnot are always filled up. I'm sure the wineries love it too, because it's bringing in more people. They're sure to get more business from it. Sucks I wasn't able to go this year like I was in years past, but I was still able to watch it on TV, so it's all that matters. Going forward, we have the playoff cutoff race coming this Saturday, NBC, 7 o'clock from Daytona International Speedway. It started the season off. It's going to end the regular season. And we have 14 spots claimed after a bombshell dropped today, after Kurt Busch said he would not be participating in the first race in the playoffs. 2311 said they are going to rescind their medical waiver for him, since he's been out since end of July. It sucks. I do like Kurt Busch. There are some rumors that we've heard, but I'm not going to get into them yet. But I wish Kurt Busch the best. But as of right now, we have 2 open spots in the playoffs right now. So you win, you're in.
And if this is your choice, who would the 2 racers be that you want to fit in those last 2 playoff spots? It was totally up to you.
I want Blaney. I think Blaney deserves it, and I don't want Truex in. I don't. Right, he's going to point himself in as of right now, but I don't want to see him in, and I wasn't going to go through my phone, but I guess since we can kill a little bit of time, I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Buescher in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Eric Almirola get there, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, any of those guys over Truex. Truex is the last guy I want to see in there. But they got 400 miles, 160 laps to go through on Saturday, so it's going to be a long race. Not as long as what typical race is, but it's going to be heart-pounding the whole way, because you want to make sure your driver gets in, and with the high speeds you're going at, you don't know.
Is this one of the most... so there only being 2 races left?
No, this is the last race for the postseason.
Okay, so is this the closest it's been to the season ending, with there being 2 spots left, with the most spots? Has there anything been like this since the new format of playoffs?
I think last year they had like 15 spots locked up before coming to Daytona. I think Daytona, since they started going to Daytona in the last regular season race, we haven't seen as many people locked up a spot before then. But it's definitely different to see how many. This is something that we aren't used to before the start of last season, I want to say. So the fact that we have 1 or 2 spots open, it's just not normal to see, because usually we have spots locked up, only 12 or 13 locked up before they get to this part of the season. But time to change gears here. It's time for the little Yankees update again. The downward spiral continued for the Yankees last week. They kind of turned it around at the end on Sunday, winning their game. Swept the Mets on Monday and Tuesday. Had off yesterday. They are back at it again today. As he shakes his head because he's a Red Sox fan and the Red Sox talk. Back at it again today at 9:40 in Oakland. But that's it. Just for Yankees updates. Um, a great Bryce Harper update. He's coming back tomorrow. Homered twice on Tuesday. Uh, Again in Lehigh Valley AAA. Went 3 for 5 yesterday, including a walk-off base hit to win to help Lehigh Valley win the game. So I think Bryce Harper's okay. He'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully he gets back on all strides.
So my question is, when it comes to minor leagues like that, I'm very familiar with hockey. In hockey, you need to have a two-way contract. Is that? I mean, Bryce Harper is a veteran in the MLB. So is he able to go? Are players able to go down to different leagues whenever management feels like it, or are there contracts?
This is a rehab start for him, where like if you go on the IL, you can come back and like use the minor leagues to help you get back up to speed because you've been out for so long. So Harper's been out since June 25th. 2 months today. So he used the starts to help him get back up to speed, and he went right to AAA. I don't know any players that go that high. Like usually it's low A, double A, something like that. So the fact that he went right to AAA, I think it's pretty cool, pretty good.
I'm sure that's exciting for those fan bases too, to have MLB players coming off of rehab like that to be able to play. I mean, imagine if that was at the Bisons and you have players at your level. That would be pretty cool for the fans, especially. I'm not a Bisons fan, but I used to go to the Rochester games, and they are affiliated with the Indians, I believe. Not the Indians anymore. Was it the who are they affiliated with?
Bisons are affiliated with the Blue Jays. The Red Wings are now affiliated with the Nationals.
Nationals, okay. But I mean, I think that'd be super cool for a fan base, a AAA or AA team to see a player like Bryce Harper. I mean, there's not many players in the league that are like Bryce Harper, so I'm sure that's pretty cool.
I mean, if you go back to like this is years ago now, I want to say it was like 10 years ago, when Andy Pettitte was making his return to the MLB, he signed with the Yankees late, wasn't able to go to spring training, wasn't able to play the first month, and he made a start in AAA, not AAA, but he made a start in Rochester when Scranton Wilkes-Barre was having their stadium fixed, but he was playing for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, so it was one of those deals where Scranton Wilkes-Barre is playing here because it had to. So I mean, back then when Pettitte was here, it was standing room only tickets available for Rochester. So the fact of the matter is, these guys are going to sell tickets just because people are going to want to see them rehab.
Yeah. And so we know Bryce Harper will come back this season, but the MLB releases their season schedule for the 2023 season. And so I always like the beginning of MLB when they have their training camps and their spring down in Florida. I like seeing all the arenas and the stadiums. Like the fact that Boston has a miniature big green monster is kind of cool. I like all the things that go into spring training when it comes to MLB. I find that very interesting. Is there anything to note on the MLB schedule that you see? Did they come out with the I'm gonna ruin it. That super cornfield game. Is there what's the two teams playing?
No Field of Dreams game because they're trying to make it into a mega complex, and it's gonna. If they had it there, it was gonna interfere. I had it up, and I think that my story expired, but for the first time in MLB history, all 30 teams will be playing each other.
That's good. I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna feel weird because like it's no longer home and home when you play this team or that team.
Interesting. So is that gonna be a rotation that MLB has to make? So like next year, I'm hypothetically saying, the Rockies going against the Yankees. Hypothetical. I don't know the schedule, but they're facing each other. They're facing each other 3 times for a series, and there's 2's going to be in New York, one's going to be at the Rocky Stadium.
No, it's
so
not
next
like that.
year it's going to be okay. So what's
like Philly is going to go to New York early in April for a 3-game set. They won't play the rest of the year. And I'm guessing in 2024 it'll be the opposite, where New York goes to Philly.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So I mean, I guess that makes sense on one hand, but at the other hand, it's just like
it cuts down traveling and saves teams money.
Yeah, I guess.
And it might make the league go by. Those games don't need to be spread out as far. I mean, yes, you said Philly and New York. That's not that far. But I mean, you could do Dodgers in New York, like that. The LA in New York. That's a huge travel time. Those games have to be spread out a little bit more. But you could do
a West Coast swing. Just go.
Yes. Yeah.
San Francisco, LA, Anaheim, San Diego, Washington. I mean, that's what they do now. But because like the Yankees are going to go from Oakland to Anaheim, so I mean it makes sense there. So I mean, I saw a little bit of the schedule yesterday. I didn't remember it because it was just the way I saw it was just like it had all the teams listed out, and it didn't have like the whole like month by month. It was just Yankees against Nationals, Philly. It's like it sucks. Like I hate when schedules like that, but I understand it was the way that they had it up, and we'll have to wait a little bit for the calendar schedules.
Yep. So before we get into what we have next, I was listening to WGR on the way here, and there has been video released of Aaron Donald at a joint practice with the Bengals, throwing and swinging Bengal helmets at Bengals players. And of course, because it's a Buffalo sports station, the people on the radio want a suspension with Aaron Donald. And so there's a couple different news that I've heard just on the way. It was only like an hour drive. But the first things came out was that they can't suspend him. It's up to the NFL cannot suspend Aaron Donald because it's a practice. And either the Rams and or the Bengals can't suspend Aaron Donald. However, the Rams aren't going to suspend Aaron Donald, and the Bengals have no rights to suspend.
Yeah, where's the jurisdiction for the Bengals to do that?
Exactly. However, there's another article that was shared to the guy saying that anything that involves the NFL, meaning locker room, interview questions, practice, games, fundraisers, any of that involves the NFL does have rights to suspend players if there's due action. So I don't know where that's going to stand. Again, this just happened today. The Rams are definitely not going to suspend Aaron Donald, so they're not going to do that. I mean, I don't really
not for this game at least.
Yeah, definitely not for that game. And so I don't know if I see the NFL doing anything about it, but I mean it's no different than what Myles Garrett did a couple of years ago. He took off the helmet of Mason Rudolph and started swinging it. So you've never seen a player get suspended because of practice before, but this is a joint practice. I think if that happened to, I'm just saying, Ed Oliver. If Ed Oliver took his helmet off and started swinging it at Devin Singletary, that's an interior Bills thing. But
then he would be suspended, I believe. If it was Bill on Bill crime, yes, you would see it. But the fact if it was Rams, since it's Rams on Bengals, no, I don't think you'll see it.
So you think because a Bills player took a helmet off and started swinging,
it'd be a Bills in-house problem that they deal with, not suspension, not the NFL looking in.
Absolutely. But
the fact that it's a joint practice, the NFL should look at this.
That's what I'm thinking.
This is not a. I'll take off the Bills hat for let's say this to make this better, but you can't let this happen. Have a guy run rogue like this, swinging his helmet, trying to hurt players like this, and not expect it to happen. It happened on a field. You had I don't know you have to think it's his NFL jurisdiction because it happened on a football field that is owned by an NFL team. Like, where do you draw the line at?
Exactly. There has to be some kind of a line in the sand. With that being said, there hasn't been any kind of suspension in NFL history related to an event like this. I mean, you go back a couple weeks and you have Patriots and Panthers fight. Does that need to go back into being a suspension? Those players?
No, there's a difference between having a fight in practice and swinging around a helmet like Myles Garrett did.
I agree with you, but where does the line get drawn though for the NFL? They have to draw a line somewhere.
Helmet.
Okay, but swinging your fist at someone, that's okay. But taking a helmet,
you have fights at practice. Go watch you don't have HBO Max, but go watch Hard Knocks. How many fights are on Hard Knocks every year between teams? Between the same team.
Yeah, that's the same team. That's different. This is two different teams. I'm just saying it's a tough it's a subject that hasn't been talked about.
You're a hockey guy. You shouldn't be saying you want to suspend people for fights.
I am a hockey guy, but the thing is, I was listening to the radio and they kept on saying no one was hurt, so they don't think there's going to be a suspension because no one's hurt. When a hockey player when a hockey player hits someone and it looks dirty, that player gets up and walks off and skates off and is fine. There's never a suspension. But if that player gets hit and he can't move, guess what? That player's suspended. It could be the same exact thing. But if he gets up and walks, it's okay. So
I don't know. Maybe a fine for Dowell because it was a practice. Maybe
he has a temper too.
Yeah, we know that.
He's been known for that. So
he gets choked by his teammates or chokes his teammates, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That might be a personal thing he likes, but I don't know. I would really love if I was an offensive player, offensive lineman. It would scare me because Aaron Donald's scary. But I would like to just push that man's buttons until my helmet is off and it's swinging at me. Because then, I mean, that's me sitting on my couch watching the Bills game, not lining up against him who could kill people with his hands. Yeah, no, that's scary. And it's also kind of scary when you're going through college and you think you're talking to someone who.
Okay, hold on. You missed it. You forgot something. We're gonna finish the captain up first because I didn't fit. I finished the last two episodes immediately after we got through this first. But yeah, I thought it was a good doc. I don't think it was. I didn't watch The Last Dance, and I don't care about basketball either. So I don't think. But at the same time, I don't think the captain lived up to The Last Dance's standards when it comes to ESPN docs. But yeah, no, go ahead with your Manti Te'o.
So it's messed up to be thinking you are in a relationship with someone who is fake. That was like the first national media. What's that? Oh man, what's that term? I'm not gonna pull it right now. It's something fishing.
It is fishing. It's called fishing.
Yeah. Okay.
ISH.
Yes. I mean, that's the first one that the national media saw. Honestly, that was the first big catfish. That's it, catfish. That the national media saw. And I heard that it was very good. I watched some Pat McAfee, and he said that almost everyone in the world owes Manti Te'o an apology.
Absolutely. And I'll be the first one to say, because I thought some of the jokes were funny when it first came out.
Well, I mean,
they got played out. But I mean, I never said anything like to the point of. And I'll get to that later. But I want to start from the beginning. Manti Te'o, what a fantastic talent this guy was, and you saw it in the documentary how good he was from high school to Notre Dame, and then I hate this guy so much. If I hate Notre Dame, but if I ever see this Renaya to Susupo, I want to punch him / her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's messed up. They were a couple that was known too. it wasn't anything that was quiet either. It was a known couple, and then it turns out that
Yeah, so I'm gonna try not to give away details in case you want to watch it.
I think I do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give away the details, but like, there's one. The only thing I'm gonna say is that if anyone called Manti Te'o gay after this, and this is his way of coming out, you owe Manti Te'o an apology. Absolutely, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, because he thought this woman was real, and you could say, oh, he probably should have met her before they even called themselves a couple, like just to prove that she was real. And that's understand. I understand that, but the fact you're gonna call him gay because he got catfish like this, that's
messed up.
That's not
right. No, that's not right at all.
That's all. That's all really good. Because you said you want to watch it, so I'm not going to say anything else. But as far as that, I do feel bad for Manti Te'o. I hope he hopefully, maybe the Bills sign him. Buffalo, if you're listening, please give Manti a shot. I feel bad for him though. He deserved better.
Absolutely deserved better. I mean, and then we move on to the best wrestling company there is, and we have a return that happens on Monday night. Someone's really excited. I'm just gonna give it right over to him.
So yeah, there's a if you're watching on Twitch, there's a clip of me watching Johnny Gargano come back that you can see. I don't know. Go over my clips are. Click on my name. I know. Just go to clips. Go back to Monday. It's right there. I would show you, but I forgot to pull it up. And B, I don't know if we've had problems playing clips on here with sound, so it would be messed up. All I'm gonna say is it's not safe for work, so don't watch it there. I kind of got a little animated. Like I first heard the music, I was like, wait a minute, I got goosebumps. And I was playing online. I was like, wait a minute, is this who I think it is? And I looked up and said Gargano. I was like, this is a fake. Then we're getting punked right now. Gargano's not back. Someone's pulling the stunt. He comes off the curtain, and I was happy.
And I love what WWE did. They had an opportunity. Was it a grand return? No, not at all. It was special, absolutely. But if you do your research, you would realize that AEW was in, believe it was Cleveland, which is where Johnny Gargano was from. And it was rumored, AEW fans had it rumored that he was going to return in his hometown. And what did the WWE do? They didn't let the rumors continue. They were just like, yeah, you guys thought that he was going to return home, but in reality, he's going to come to Toronto, where he has, where he's known. NXT has had many pay-per-views in Toronto, and he has made his name in that stadium. And it was smart for WWE to bring him back in a market that loves wrestling, like Toronto, and is familiar with him. Like, if he came back to Buffalo, I don't know if he would have gotten the reaction that he got in Toronto. Buffalo, I love Buffalo, but they're not it's not a wrestling town like Toronto is, or even like Chicago. So he made his grand return, and I think that frees up a lot that could happen. I heard that he could tag team with Austin Theory. He could tag team with Ciampa. He could go with that freak show that's stealing the Miz. Like, they could do Dexter as much Loomis. As they want. Dexter Loomis, yes. They have those four with Austin Theory that could do so much. And I'm happy that the small things that Triple H are doing is going to have a huge impact. I'm excited for it's next week, isn't it? Next week is
next Saturday. It's got Clash of Classics.
Saturday. Yep. Yes, that's exciting. I think a lot's going to happen that week. I can't wait for next week. We have to do those predictions because I think a lot's going to happen, and I think it's for the good. And I know that your daddy's going to lose, and it's not going to make you happy.
Acknowledge him. Acknowledge your daddy.
I really wanted to get that for you so bad. If it wasn't $30, it would have happened. I had it in my car. I literally had it in my car. I was typing in your address. I was typing in your address, and Grace
I shouldn't have said anything. I thought you were saying a bomb to my house. That's why I said something. I think you should have sent a bag of dicks to my house or something. It's like, I don't want to open this for my mom.
No. But honestly, is that any better, though, to acknowledge your daddy?
Yeah, because at least I can say, yeah, this is a WWE shirt. It's like, why the hell is it?
Oh, my gosh.
Your daddy's not here anymore.
No, he's not. Neither is mine.
Oh, my God.
What? Why can't we? Why do we have to be crazy? Why can't I just say something that makes us relatable? But no, you just go to extreme. No, this is my fault. Gosh. Going to the next sport. We have NHL cover athletes. Trevor Zegras and Sarah Nurse. I have no idea.
Yeah, we have. The NHL came out with the cover athletes yesterday in front of the palm trees.
I'm assuming she is a women's hockey star who is tearing up the world of women's hockey.
Sure.
That's I'm assuming.
I had to look her up to see who she was. She plays for Canada. That's all I know.
I think I would love to be able to get into women's hockey, but it's not televised.
I
commonly.
mean, it is, but it isn't. Like the professional league is like on ESPN Plus and Twitch and whatnot.
Are we going to be able to watch the Buffalo?
Buttes, yeah.
Are we sure we're in the same? We're in the home network, so are we going to be able to watch?
They're not locally televised.
Okay, good, because I can't watch the stupid Sabres because I'm in the home network.
Yeah, because we're blacked out for the Sabres,
which is stupid.
Yes, we're also blacked out for 4 MLB teams, which is stupid in my opinion.
4 MLB?
Yes.
Let me take a guess. Toronto?
No.
What? Wow. Okay, so we have the Rangers. We have the Yankees, the Mets, Pittsburgh, Philly.
No.
In Cleveland.
Yes.
I'm really surprised it's not Toronto, honestly.
I think it's because it's Canadian.
Yeah, I really relate myself with the Canadians more than I do with half the Americans.
So get the hell over there.
I wish I could.
Get the hell over there. Just go.
I would have free healthcare. I had paperwork given to me today that was just like, do you want to take out $70 out of your paycheck a week or $103 out of your paycheck per week? Oh, that doesn't happen in Canada.
Yeah, it does, but they don't give you the option.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I would rather not have the option.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Not see it.
I want to know nothing about this.
Know nothing about what?
Just go. Oh, okay, you do the outro. You're the better host apparently.
I'm not the better host. Are you kidding me?
That's what you've been told.
By who?
Our fans.
Oh yeah. Who is the wolf? Where he at though? Scott. He must not be here this week. It is a Thursday. We are off 2 days.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
That's my fault. That's my bad. That's on me. I apologize for that. So next week I am posting it right here, right now. This is what we're doing next week because I am the host of the show. We are going to go over. No, you're not.
I am the one who puts this together. You're just doing the outro here because we've been told that you're the better host.
We're going to be doing Clash of the Castle predictions, reviewing the NASCAR race on Sunday.
Saturday.
From Sunday. And then we are going to whatever. And then we're going to go through the NFL division
we have to do that.
winners.
We have to do that.
That's for next week. Cat. That's it. There's those three things unless anything major happens. We had a very short show today. It was 35 minutes. I mean, you would think that we had 2 days to occupy and accumulate as much sports information as we had. But sports are kind of dead. Yankees are doing really bad. Buffalo is in a preseason. Sabres are in off-season. And
Here, with Buffalo news, the Buffalo Bills have said that they're not going to play any starters on Saturday. So it's going to be second and third teamers and other people trying to make the team. The punt guy, I don't call him God because he doesn't like punt. He doesn't like being called punt God. Punt guy won the job over Matt Hawk. I don't know. I can't think of his name. Cody Ford's been traded to Arizona for a 5th-round pick, which I know Kevin's happy about that. I am too because it's a 5th-round pick. I mean, they're probably just going to cut him anyways. Is there any other bill? Oh, Tavon Austin has been released too. My question is, why sign him in the first place?
I think they had. So before we get to, I think we should do some roster predictions.
Now?
Right now, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna go through quarterback. Who you keeping quarterback? 2 quarterbacks.
Can you keep them both and just put one on the practice squad?
All right. So sure. Okay. I'm just gonna keep a tally to make sure we're gonna have 53 people. And how many people stay on the practice squad? What is it? 12?
I have no idea.
Okay, so whatever. I have a different tally for practice squad. All right, I agree with you. Bills keep 2, Josh Allen and Case Keenum, and they move Matt Barkley to the practice squad. Running backs, how many do you think the Bills are keeping?
Probably 4, and I'm trying to figure out who's the odd man out.
All right, let me do my prediction. You have Devin Singletary, James Cook, Zach Moss, Tywan Jones, special teams. I'm not considering Reggie Gilliam as a fullback.
Just as a fullback.
I will consider him tight end.
I would consider him a fullback. So
then I think
running back, I think you're gonna keep Singletary. You're gonna keep James Cook.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you keep Duke Johnson and Tywan Jones and let go of Zach Moss? You think Johnson gets the hook?
Yeah, I think so. I think based on what we saw last week with Zach Moss putting in 3 touchdowns, 1 being called back, I think they want him in the red zone. I think they have to. I think based on what they're doing this preseason, I think that's something that they're going to be doing. So we agree that Tywan is staying.
I think he's that depth back that's going to give you mentorship.
And also big on special teams.
Yeah.
He's a special team player.
Yeah.
So, or do we keep Reggie Gilliam? Do they keep Reggie Gilliam and cut Zach Moss?
No, Gilliam's going to stay, but they're not going to cut either one of them. Gilliam's more of a fullback.
So we have 7 players on the roster currently. Wide receivers, the Bills are known for keeping 6 wide receivers. No, 5 wide receivers.
It should be 8, Kevin, if you're considering. Oh, you're considering him a tight end.
No, I counted. I have Josh Allen, Case Keenum, Singletary, Cook, Moss, Tywan Jones, and Gilliam. That's 7.
Oh, because we had the one going to the practice squad, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm assuming they're going to have Blackshear on the practice squad.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I have on the practice squad. Now the Bills, they either keep 5 or 6 receivers. I don't remember, but we know for sure we have Gabe Davis,
Diggs, McKenzie,
and McKenzie. Those 3 we know for sure. So we're up to 10 players.
I think they'll keep Shakir. They spent a 5th-round pick on him. They're not going to release him this early.
Definitely staying as well.
Jamison Crowder, I feel like he'll stay to be the slot guy.
And that's 5. And then you have...
I think they'll keep Marquez Stevenson for his special teams.
I honestly think what will happen is they keep Jake Kumaro. They like Jake Kumaro. And I think they sign Isaiah Hodges to the practice squad.
I can see that. But I'm still going Marquez Stevenson over Jake Kumro.
Okay, so that's still the same. We still have 13 players, regardless. You say they keep Kumro. I say they keep Kumro.
I say okay, yeah.
So
we just do. I say for offense, we just do tight ends and skip the linemen because that's.
I agree. We have Dawson Knox is making the roster.
There's no doubt about it. OJ Howard's going to make it. Tommy Sweeney's making it. Quentin Morris.
I think he's going to cut.
He might go to practice squad.
He might. I'm good for practice squad play for him.
Yeah.
All right, so we're skipping offensive line. Let's go. But I'm good to do D line though.
Yeah.
Let's start. Oh, my thing is freaking out. Let's start with the ends. Either end, I don't care. We have Von Miller getting cuts. That's a joke. Greg Russo making the roster. Boogie Basham making the roster.
AJ
Epinesa making the roster. That is 4 ends already.
They'll keep Shaq Lawson too. I don't see them getting rid of him. But the rest of the 3 can go.
I agree. D tackles. You have
Ed Oliver staying.
You have
Jaquan
Jones.
Tim Settle,
and Jordan Phillips.
Does Phillips stay?
Yes. He's staying. He's been causing havoc in the defense this preseason. So that right there, that is 9 players just on the defensive line.
And that's to be expected. What we've learned from McDermott in his years here is he likes to swap out the D linemen as many times as he can.
Absolutely. We go to linebacker. We have 2.
And Miller could be considered an outside rusher. He's not just the defensive end. He could be that linebacker that he's going to be switching forward and back.
So we have 3 for sure linebackers. We have Edmonds, Milano, and Tyler Matakevich as special teamsmen. So we have 3 linebackers there. I heard Spector has been doing really good. Andre Smith is suspended for 4 or 5 games beginning the season, so I could think that Spector makes the roster.
Yes.
And then gets moved to practice squad afterwards. Joe Harris-Giles. Giles Harris. I do not think makes the roster.
No.
Trell Dodson, I also think is gone too. Honestly, I don't think the Bills don't value linebackers as much, but I think
I think you'll see two linebacker set usually. Yeah, and just go with more corners.
I think Terrell Bernard, I think does make the roster or becomes practice squad. I'm going to put him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most important positional group that the Bills don't know about. Question marks are cornerback safety. So we have Tre'Davious White making the roster, of course.
Taron Johnson,
Kyer Elam.
Dane Jackson, Christian Bedford.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that Cam Lewis, people are really high on Cam Lewis, but I think he's going to have to go. Nick McLeod, again, really high on him, but he's going to have to go.
Poyer and Hyde, yeah, they're getting cut. That's just...
Yeah, Poyer and Hyde are gone. But those backup safeties, man, Jaquan Johnson
and DeMar
Hamlin making the roster. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, up to 38 players. Plus, we need Matt Ariza, Tyler Bass, and Reed Ferguson. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 41. So we have room for a couple more players because you figure 9 offensive linemen. 9 might be a lot, actually. Well, you have 5 starting.
I say 10.
10. So if we have 10, then we still have 2 more spots for 2 players. And I guess that could be a spot for potentially.
So Siri Neal is going to get a spot, so that'd be 51 or 52. So who gets the last spot?
Isaiah Hodges. He's gone off this offseason. And I think weapons are weapons. However, I don't think the Bills value wide receivers as much as they might value a offensive line depth or a defensive line depth. So I think
maybe it's a Terrell Dodson. Maybe he stays and be that will linebacker.
Because I mean, the Bills did show in the preseason last week that they were willing to play 3 linebackers when it came to the run. So being more willing to do that, they're going to need a extra linebacker for those positions, whether or not they get that much playing time. But you also need that backup depth rotational player as well. So I could see that happening for Terrell Dodson. Absolutely. Yeah. No, we went. Yeah. Or do they keep Siran Neal? Did we keep Siran Neal?
I thought we did.
I don't remember. This isn't very well done.
No, we did this wrong. Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode, folks. Follow Kevin, follow me. I don't care. At ZT McAdoo down there. Matt, Twitch.tv/McAdoo16, whatever my YouTube is. I don't know what the URL is for that. But thank you, folks. Good night.